Okay, so a lot of people have been asking for a makeup tutorial. So I thought that I should just jump on, do a makeup tutorial, do like a quick little, this is how I get ready. But also this week's article, or I think it was last week's article at this point, was on habits and bad habits and good habits and what to do about them and if there are any tips and tricks. So I thought, why not do a little quick makeup tutorial? This is my Sunday makeup routine. It is currently 7:55 a.m., which means I need to be out the door in exactly 25 minutes. Also, fun fact, I am live while filming this video. For those who are wondering what's on my face already. First of all, nothing besides these little things that patches the facial hair. Fun fact, I got laser hair removal and these two patches just are very stubborn. Like no matter how many laser treatments I get, I always grow facial hair in these two places. It is what it is. Hold on. Jay! Do you want to be in my YouTube video? Say hi. Why do you look so nervous?
Wait, I'm confused.
Don't be confused. I sometimes go live while filming. See, look, you're here, but you're also here. You're not doing anything wrong. Say hi.
Don't be ashamed if you have bad habits.
Literally.
Because everyone has bad habits.
Right?
So if the bad habits are like really, really bad habits, like hurting someone,
Right?
then we need to avoid that by doing something else.
Real.
And we need to find new ways to come up with new habits.
Okay, you're literally the best. I'll FaceTime you later. Bye, honey. So now we're gonna do the makeup tutorial. We have 20 minutes to do it and talk about bad habits. But we already got very good advice on bad habits from Jay, so we love that. Jay is literally like amazing. We have the Hermes. This is a body butter, but also you can use it on your face. This stuff is thick, like it's ridiculously thick. Is it $70? Absolutely. Is it worth the $70? Absolutely. So I put that on. I am a huge fan of retinol. This stops me from breaking out. It causes skin renewal, stops the wrinkles. You know, there's a ton of research on how retinol is extremely helpful. This is really basic run-of-the-mill retinol, 2.5 retinol moisturizer. I put that over that. Then on top of that, we do have Neutrogena Retinol Sunscreen, SPF 30. I do sunscreen every day. I also put it on my arms. So that's the base. And then on top of that, you let that dry for a second. Then Bare Minerals Prime Time. This one's like a very silicone-y primer that we kind of love. And that goes over it. And that's how you get this face. And that's how I don't constantly break out, how I don't have like wrinkles already, how I kind of have the skin that I have. I know it's not perfect, but you know, it's not terrible. So again, first we're gonna go in MAC Full Coverage Foundation. This is C40. I'm aware this is not my color. Everyone in live and everyone here, stop saying that it's not my foundation color. Just give it a second. We know starting habits is hard. The thing is, starting habits is hardest in the beginning, right? The idea is if your new habit is to work out, do you really think on day 1 or day 2 or even day 5 you're going to want to get up and work out in the morning? Like that's an absolute no. Your body, your mind is not used to the habit. In fact, it's not even a habit. It's actually kind of what we would consider a pattern interrupt. The first, actually I think we have research that says the first 10 days, extremely difficult, like extremely, extremely challenging. With that said, it gets a little bit easier. And studies are currently showing that we used to think it was 21 days to build a new habit. We're now seeing that it's a little bit closer to 30. So we have 30 days that we want to just do this new habit for, and then consistently do it. And then by day 30, then you should have a new habit, right? Now this applies, it's a daily thing, right? So if you're trying to build like a weekly habit, for example, I think it would be super fun to kind of go live every Sunday, do a makeup tutorial and talk about this week's topic. I think that would be super fun. It's gonna take 30 Sundays for me to do this. Like this is not gonna be an easy process. And then of course, on the makeup tutorial side of things, as you can see, this stuff covers, this stuff can cover tattoos, it covers absolutely everything. We absolutely love it. It is amazing. As you can see, we're a little bit shiny. You do kind of get that movie star shine with this foundation. So that is the thing. So what are we doing now over this foundation? Well, you know me, I gotta have that like flawless skin. So we have the Il Maquillage. If you have been on Instagram or YouTube or really any social media, you have seen commercials on this skincare product, or not really skincare, but it's makeup. It's foundation. They say if you take a quiz, it will match your shade perfectly. They're not lying. I truly believe in this company. I think they're incredible. In fact, I use this kind of over my full coverage foundation. because I find that this color matches my actual skin tone significantly better than the C40 MAC Coverage Foundation. This is, now with that said, El Maquillage, they kind of label this as light coverage, right? But I do not like light coverage. I like looking like I literally do not have pores. I like kind of looking like the whole porcelain doll skin type deal. So that is why you get the MAC Coverage Foundation that's full coverage, and then I put this over it. And then we're also gonna give this a chance to dry, oxidize is the fancy word, right? We're gonna give this a chance to oxidize. What do we do about bad habits? Well, here's the fun fact. Bad habits are extremely difficult to break. And if you have a bad habit, kind of like Jay was saying and how others have said, where if the bad habit is hurting yourself, hurting others, it's kind of what we would consider like critically bad, right? A very, very bad habit. You're gonna wanna seek help and you're gonna wanna break it as soon as possible or use kind of techniques to kind of avoid that habit at all costs. If the habit is a little less serious, you may be able to deal with it yourself by, wait for it, replacing it. You could replace the bad habit with a good habit. So for example, let's say it's Sunday and you wake up and your go-to thing, and again, this is gonna be triggering to some people, right? So I don't wanna if you wanna eat donuts in the morning on Sunday, that is fine, by the way. If you are a donut person, you're beautiful the way you are. Just saying, right? I don't wanna trigger anyone's eating issues because I have my own eating issues. But let's say you wake up Sunday and your routine is to eat a whole thing of donuts every Sunday, and you don't want that routine anymore. But you're used to getting up and going to the donut shop and getting a dozen donuts, and then you sit down and you eat them all, but you don't feel good about yourself after. It's not that you feel bad about your body, it's not that you think you're ugly, you just don't feel like you're healthy, because that's what matters, not how you look, right? It is very hard to just wake up one Sunday and be like, I'm not gonna get donuts anymore. That's tricky. It is easier to replace the habit with something else. Something that is similar in your brain. So for example, if you are used to getting in the car and getting donuts every Sunday, still get in the car, but go to a grocery store. Or get this, let me loop this back in, go to the gym, right? Not that gym could replace food. You need to go to the gym and then you need to get food after. Again, you gotta be careful with the eating stuff. But the point is that if you have a negative habit or a bad habit, a lot easier to replace it than to simply stop doing it. As you can see, the foundation is now oxidizing. We'll take it a little bit lower on the neck. But as you can see, it's pretty much a color match, right? It's not perfect, but it's good enough, right? Like it's seriously good. So now what are we going to do? The habit is I always use setting powder. Now, do I bake the entire face? Absolutely. Am I supposed to bake the entire face? I really don't care. The point is that my makeup needs to stay on for 19 or so hours. My days are long. That's not a complaint, it's a fact, right? So if I am waking up at 4 a.m., my makeup is going on starting at 7:30, it's now 8 a.m., and I know that I'm not going to bed until 10, I know for a fact that I'm going to need to have this thing set. So we're going to set under the eyes first while looking up. It is going to get everywhere, and we're okay with this, and we're gonna set the heck out of this baby. Like, you got to, right? Now, as you can see, it was the weekend, so I actually was able to sleep for a solid 6 hours. For the record, not everyone could do that. Most people are going to need 8 hours. And kids, y'all need 10. But I was able to sleep 6 hours, which is enough for me to not have horrible dark circles. So that is the reason why I don't really need concealer today. We love a good concealer. It does clog, it does dry, right? So if we can avoid the concealer under the eyes, we will. Today I did get enough sleep to the point where I can avoid the concealer. We now have set the entire face. Boom. So again, we gotta be at the door in maybe 12 minutes, so we gotta speed up this process a little bit. So let's go for this next part. So next thing we're going to do is I've been kind of loving this kind of Sephora blush, right? This Sephora blush is extremely, extremely pink. And it is too pink to actually just leave on the cheeks on its own, right? So first we're going to kind of give this slapped in the cheek look. It is actually too bright, and that's okay, because we're loving that, right? And this is actually kind of goes into the topic of habits a little bit. Sometimes a habit is fine, it's just too intense. And you can continue the habit, you just need to tone it down, right? I think one of the biggest things is what Jay was saying, but also what I completely agree with is not all habits are awful, and you don't need to completely judge yourself, right? There are some habits that you have that are not the best, and you can continue to live your life with them, and that's like your little guilty pleasure, and that is okay, right? So with that said, sometimes you just gotta tone the bad habits down, or in this case, the blush as well, which we are going to use the e.l.f. highlighter for. We're going to throw that in there, and we are going to shine this up. And that is how we taper a bad habit and a blush that's a little bit too much. We're also gonna throw some on the nose, a little bit on the chin too, if you can help it. Oh my God, I just got foundation in my hair. Ha! Okay, we're gonna go in with this bronzer. And we're gonna now talk about why habits are important, right? Why are habits kind of a big deal? Things add up. It's not what you do sometimes, it's what you do consistently that counts. If your habit is to work really, really hard and be kind to people, you are a hardworking, kind person. If you're kind to people sometimes and work hard sometimes, that's not gonna be you as a person. So don't get it twisted. The reason we're talking about these things in the first place, habits are important, right? If you want a little bit more reading on this, book recommendations, Atomic Habits, very good. High Performance Habits, very, very good. And 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. If you were gonna read 3 books on habits, I would say those 3 are the keys. I always forget to wipe the foundation off the brows, and I have my UK bestie Caitlin who usually reminds me. And luckily someone's name was Caitlin in the live that I'm also on right now, so I just remembered to take my foundation off of my eyebrows. Yay. I don't kind of go all out with the eyeshadow on Sundays, I kind of just do a light look. This is the I Love Bloom palette by Sephora. It's just a habit, right, of me to kind of use kind of the reddish. So we're gonna throw that in there, and we're gonna kind of go around the eye, and that gives it. And we'll go over to the live and see how people are doing as well. Slaying. Okay, so we got that. We're now going to go in with this kind of brush right here. As you can see, this brown is heavily used. Luckily, there's still a little bit more. And we are going to put that all over the lid. It's not anything too fancy today. It's just the eyeshadow look. And here's the tricky part. Here's the tricky part about habits. Here's where it gets really challenging. You get good at your habits even if they're bad. The idea is, thank you. The idea is you get good at your habits regardless if they're good or bad. If your habit is doing makeup every single day like me, chances are you are going to be good at makeup in your eyes. Some people still think I'm horrible at makeup, and that's okay, right? But the idea is if your habit is makeup, you're gonna get good at makeup. If your habit is shopping, you're gonna get good at shopping. That's not necessarily a good thing. We wanna replace our bad habits with more positive ones, because regardless if they're good or bad, your brain and body do not know the difference. You are going to get good at your habit. It's just a fact, right? So you want those habits to be beneficial. Otherwise, we might run into a problem. You have these things. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on YouTube, nor do I really want to. They're called sex buds. You kind of just dip your finger in them. It's very, very shiny. And you kind of, and it just gives you a really great shine. I don't know if you just saw that shine up, but all of a sudden it's very, very shiny. Now, what are we gonna do? We're going to, why does this brush keep flying out? And we have, if I can find it, eyeliner. I always have to do this usually off screen. I'll try my best. That's my eyeliner look, if you're wondering. Oh, that actually turned out okay. I just do a slight wing. I take it out through the line that I drew previously. There you go. So there's that. And then we got the habit of mascara. Do I use a really fancy mascara? No. Is there a difference in mascara? Yes. I finally admitted to people that yes, there is a difference between the $30, I can talk. There is a difference between the $30 bottles of mascara and these like $5 bottles that I get. This is Express Control. Fun fact, Xxpressions. Xxpressions.org, Xxpressions.blog. Check out the habit article on Xxpressions.blog. This is Express as well, with an X. Wow, we got like 3,000 likes while doing this YouTube video as well. That's literally a slide. Okay, what are we gonna do for lips today? Usually I would wipe the lips, but currently we don't have anything to wipe them, so we're just gonna put the lipstick on top of it because that's kind of just what we're in. This is the MAC Mini Lipstick. We got this at Nordstrom's. This is the shade A30 Breathing Fire. Don't know why it's called that. This stuff is hecka pink. I don't think I'm allowed to swear on YouTube, nor is swearing my biggest thing. Swearing is also quite a habit, so if you wonder why I'm okay with my students swearing every once in a while, but I don't ever swear, it's because I don't want it to be a habit. because you don't want to get in the habit of expressing yourself in a way that is inappropriate. You want the way you express yourself to be appropriate. So, everyone, this has been the habits video and makeup tutorial that y'all have been asking for. How do we finish this off? We're gonna finish this off with a setting spray. This is the setting spray I use. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray, and we just kinda what? How do we finish this off? Of course, habit. You want to be in the habit of good hygiene and smelling good. We got the Dolce & Gabbana cologne. People are always like, oh, makeup, what perfumes do you wear? I only wear cologne, only, no perfumes. Sometimes I wear unisex perfume cologne, like maybe CK1, that one is solid. Or if you look into, if you want like a classier one, or a more expensive, not necessarily classier, because CK1 is great, but more fancy is Louis Vuitton. Has some great unisex ones, they're incredible. But I'm more of a cologne person, so give that 2 sprays and then wrist, press together. Don't rub. That's a bad habit. Don't rub your cologne together. This has been our talk on habits. I hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Hopefully you have liked and subscribed to the channel at this point. If not, go ahead, like, subscribe, follow, go to Xxpressions.blog, see the bad habit article that I wrote, all of that fun stuff. Also make sure to follow me on other apps like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all of that fun stuff, just so you don't lose track of me. That would be so sad. Anyway, I hope you have a great rest of the day, everyone, and of course, I hope this helps. Bye, everyone.